Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Alright, so you're welcome back to Bits and Breach. If you're yet to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button, turn on the post notification while clicking on the subscribe button. And please, if you found any of my video useful, please like, please make a comment, and you can also share to your friends. Thank you. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about how to configure retention policy on a mailbox. And you might be wondering, what is a retention policy? What does it mean? What does she mean by saying a retention policy? Now, retention policy by its name is to hold something, not to move, like something to be in place, right? So, like it says here, retention policy is a formal set of guidelines determining how long an organization stores data, both digital and physical, and when it is securely disposed of. It ensures legal, regulatory compliance, reduces storage costs, minimizes risks by managing the data lifecycle from creation to deletion. Now, you might see probably, let me just use a law firm for an example, and maybe users in the organization, they leave the organization, they don't want their data to be deleted. Probably you would see some data regarding customers and they don't want it to be deleted. Even when you talk about the GRC, that's something risks and compliance. I can't remember the first one, the G, what it really means. Sometimes you see that they don't easily delete the data. The data has to be held on for a few years before it's later maybe deleted. And there's a way they do it. You don't just delete data like that. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the retention policy, and this one is us placing a policy on a mailbox. So imagine if you're in an organization and you don't want users in your organization to delete things from their mailbox. You want to know what comes into their mailbox when they leave the organization. You want to still have that data so that important data will not just be deleted when their mailbox is full. So you want to hold that data. So now it says here, use a retention policy to manage the data for your organization by deciding proactively whether to retain the content, delete content, or retain and delete the content. Now, there are some times that you say, okay, I want this content to be retained for 5 years, and after 5 years, please delete them, right? Or I want the content in my mailbox after a day because I don't want my mailbox to be full. After a day and I have read the message, I want you to delete them. Or you give yourself like, okay, if I get a message in my inbox, at least by 7 years I should have read it. Okay, once I've read it, please delete them. Or I could say, okay, once I've read it, I don't want you to delete them. Move it to the archive, right? So there are so many retention policy you can set on your mailbox. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that in this video. Yay! Alright, so to set the retention policy, we have to do that from the Compliance Admin Center. So I'm going to come back to my Microsoft 365 Admin Center here, which is admin.cloud.microsoft. I'll scroll all the way down, I'll click on Show All, and I'll come to my Microsoft Purview, which is the Compliance Admin Center, right? So let's see, so it's purview.microsoft.com. if you want to go directly without going to this page. Now it has a new page, unlike the ones we see previously. Previously, when you come here, you see different solution, but I think 2024 2025 Microsoft created this new portal right here. So you just come to the solutions here. Once you go to the solution, you see different solutions you want in this place, right? You can see different solutions here. So I'm just going to go to the data lifecycle management. And you can see that I have the retention levels, retention policies, import, priority cleanup, exchange, which is the one I'm actually going to. I'm going to the exchange because I want it on a mailbox. I remember what we said, that the exchange is the one that is, like we have the exchange admin center. Any rules you configure there is going to be configured for the mailbox or your Outlook. So exchange is practically the one running your Outlook, right? So I'm going to come here to retention policies. But know that before you create a retention policy, you have to create a retention tag first. Microsoft has its own default retention tags, which when I click on here, you can decide to look into it. Probably you don't want to create a new tag, but you just want to pick one of these tags. One says 1 month delete, so that means the retention period is 30 days. After 30 days, when the email gets to your inbox, it deletes them. You can click on it for more details. Let's click on this. After retention period, delete, temporarily recoverable. That means if you take less of time, it's gone. This one is personal, 7 days, delete. 1 year, delete. 365 days, it deletes. 5 year, delete. 1,825 days, it deletes. So it goes on, and there's some that is delete. 30 days, delete. Default 2 year, move to archive. 730 days, move to archive. This personal 1 year, move to archive. Junk email, this is for your junk mailbox. 30 days, once the email is in my junk mailbox, 30 days, I delete it, right? And this is for deleted items. The things in my deleted items, once you reach 30 days, you delete. So these are the normal retention policy Microsoft provided for you. But if you decide that, no, I don't want Microsoft to be determining how my mailbox is going to be like, and I don't even want the options here, I have a specific things in mind. Probably my own is just, I don't want 30 days, I just want 3 days delete, and I'm not seeing that option here. I'm going to go ahead and create a new tag. So I'm going to click on this new tag here. I'll just give my new tag 3 days. Okay, let's just say 3 days delete. And it's not by force I put a description because I really don't know what to say. I'll just click on next. Now I want to apply this. We'll apply the retention setting you choose to tag mailbox folder or items. I want to apply this to my entire mailbox. So I'm going to click on this. But I'm going to uncheck this so that we see something. Let me go back. Next. I'm just going to copy this. Copy, and I'll come back here. Come back here. Tags. Network is moving slow. New tag. And I guess that didn't copy. 3 days delete. 3 days delete. Okay, I don't want a description next. Now, can you see a default policy tag? TPT applies retention settings to all items that do not have a retention tag applied, either inherited or explicit. We do not recommend using this option except for moving items from a primary to an archive mailbox. We recommend that you use retention policy in Microsoft 365 to apply a retention or deletion policy to an entire mailbox. Automatically to default folders, right? Now you might have a default folder such as your inbox, your deleted items, and all that. Now personal tags are used by Outlook and Outlook web app users. So I'll just go ahead and click on this default automatically to entire mailbox, and I'll click on next. I said when item reaches the following age in days, what do I want it to do, right? Now I want it to, like I said, I want when the item reaches 3 days, I want it to delete and allow recovery. Now can you see that we have 3 options here? Right now I've not shown us how to enable archive, and probably I'll do that in my next video. But you can see that the first option is delete and allow recovery, which is what I want. After deletion, users can recover items from the recoverable item folders in Exchange Online for as long as it's configured on the mailbox, which is 14 days by default. 14 days by default, your emails, your deleted items are gone. Not gone, you can still search for it somewhere else, which I'll still be showing us in other videos coming soon. Now you can do permanently delete, which is items are moved to the purge folders for permanent deletion. If single item recovery has been disabled or the retention policy is 0 days, items will be permanently deleted immediately, right? Now, or you do the in-place hold, litigation hold. Now move items to archive. In-place hold and litigation hold can be a little bit too harsh, and we might still talk about that in upcoming videos, because I remember a time where someone has put the in-place litigation hold on his deleted mailbox, and he kept deleting things from the deleted mailbox. It wasn't going. It kept coming back. It wasn't going. It kept coming back. So we had to use the PowerShell to do that. Now move items to archive. Item will be moved to the user's archive. I think I turned on archive for my mailbox. I'm not really sure about that. Well, let's continue. So I don't know why my mouse is doing like this, but okay. So I'll just come here and click on next. Now name 3 days delete, application 3 days. That 3 days you delete them. So this is my tag. Finish. My tag is created. I'll now come back to my policy. If I refresh this, you can see my tag there even without me refresh. Retention period is 3 days. After 3 days, delete this thing. I don't want it. Now I'll go back to my MRM retention policies. Now note that I have just one policy, which is the default, and the retention tags are 1 month delete, 1 with so many things here. But I'll just create a new policy by myself, which is I'll just name it the 3 day, because this is just for the essence of this video. Now notice that I said add tag. Now I'm going to add that tag that I created. I'm going to add that tag, which is 3 days delete. I'm going to click on add. I'll click on next. and I'll click on submit, and I'll click on done. So now to apply the retention policy to a mailbox, we have to go back to the Exchange Admin Center, admin.exchange.microsoft.com. Yeah, I turned on archive. I turned on archive for my mailbox. I turned it on. I go and turn that off. So admin.exchange.microsoft.com. Now come to my mailbox here. I'm just going to apply the policy for the admin, which is me. I'll click on mailbox, click on the username, and click on mailbox here. General organization delegation, come to mailbox here. I'll scroll down. Now can you see retention policy? It has the default. So I'm going to click on manage mailbox policies. I'm going to click on the retention policy. You see how my new policy came up, which is the 3-day test, and I'm going to save. It takes up to 5 minutes for these changes to appear. And voila, guys, that is how we apply the retention policy to our mailbox. And you see 3-day text policy. Now, sometimes it takes longer for this to be enforced, only if you do the, I can't really remember the command on PowerShell where it force sync it to immediately start working, and sometimes it just start working. Most people do the retention policy to move to archive because they notice that their inbox is full, and since there's an archive mailbox there, they feel like, okay, let me just do a retention policy to move my emails to archive so that I will not be seeing so many emails in my inbox here, right? So note that once you enforce this change, this is going to apply to even the previous emails. It's going to apply to even the previous emails that is in your stuff. It's going to apply to it. So let's see, this is 5. It's 5. Let's see. Some time to run. It might take some time to be applied to the mailbox. Although it has been applied from the exchange, but it might take some time to take effect, up to 24 to 48 hours for it to take effect on the mailbox. But if you want this to happen quickly, and sometimes it really doesn't even happen quickly, even if you do this, you might want to run a PowerShell command, which will connect to exchange. So I'm going to be doing that in this video. So let's say I have this PowerShell here. I'm going to run as administrator. Okay. So it says that the Connect Exchange online module was found in the module exchange, but the module could not be loaded. So we have to install module. Okay, so it's not supposed to be together. So why? That's why I installed the module. Let's do A, yes to all. Let's do this A again, yes to all. Undo the import module, this Exchange Online Management. Just gonna copy this. Gonna come here, gonna paste this. And then we do the connect to Exchange Online. Okay. So let's wait while it's trying to make me sign in. I'm gonna use my own account. Okay. I'll click on next. Put in my password. I think I got that wrong. Okay. I'm gonna authenticate on my phone. Where is the authenticator? Authenticator, you're right here. Okay, 44. Approved. Just click on this device only. Alright, so I'm gonna do the start. That is what actually first sync any changes on the mailbox. this command here, Start-ManagedFolderAssistant. I hope I'm spelling that well. Identity. So identity would be me, which is Timmy at treasures.org.ng. Start-ManagedFolderAssistant. So I'm just going to click on enter. And yeah, this one. So immediately you run this, it might take a few minutes, but you would see that your the effect takes place almost immediately. You see that your things start moving from the inbox to wherever folder, depending on your retention policy that you set up. Depending on your retention policy, you see that you start moving either to the deleted items or to the archive. It just depends on what you set on that mailbox. I said even with you using the Start-ManagedFolderAssistant with the PowerShell command that you run, it might still take some time before this actually take effect on your mailbox. It can take up to 6-12 hours. But if you don't run that Start-ManagedFolderAssistant, it might take a longer period of time. And this usually depends on how large your mailbox is. Maybe you have like 1,000 emails, 100 emails in your mailbox. So it takes time. So that's why we used to use the Start-ManagedFolderAssistant. You might need to run that over and over again just for it to take effect on the mailbox. But the normal thing is, I think within 24, 48, 72 hours, within 3 days, if that is not even too much, everything should be moving to your desired place, depending on what you set for the retention tag. So guys, I hope you've been able to learn one or two from this video, how to set retention policy on a mailbox. First, you set the retention tags and retention policy from the Microsoft Purview, which is the Compliance Admin Center. Then you go back to the Exchange, you click on the mailbox you want to set your policy on, you go to Mailbox, and then you set your mailbox policy. You set the retention policy for it. Please do not forget that this has to be involved. This has to be done. The retention policy has to be on the user mailbox. And then after this, if you want the emails to start moving immediately or within 24, 48, 72 hours, you have to run the PowerShell command. And like you saw how I was able to run the PowerShell command, probably I'll be dropping these commands in the chat. So first of all, you see I was trying to connect, but it told me the module was not found. You install the module. Once you install the module, you import module, then you connect to Exchange Online, and then you run the Start-ManagedFolderAssistant on the user mailbox that you applied the policy. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I would like, if you learn one or two from this video, please like, please share, and subscribe. I see that there's nothing in my inbox. So that's just it, guys. It works like magic. Sometimes you have to wait for hours, you have to wait for days, depending on your size of your mailbox. But because my own mailbox there's really nothing important in my mailbox. So that's just, if I want to recover this, then it's all good. I've recovered it. This is it here. This is the thing that was in my mailbox before, and I recovered it back to my deleted items. Can you see? Recover deleted items, and these are the recoverables. And I can decide to recover it and restore it back to my inbox. I'll be showing us maybe so on other videos how to recover items, even though you can't find it in the Outlook here, how to recover it back to your Outlook using PowerShell, using the Exchange Admin Center. The Exchange Admin Center can be used for so many things, even the Compliance Admin Center, so many things that are just fabulous. So guys, if you found this video useful, please share and please drop me a comment. Thank you guys. Bye. See you in my next video.